Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Jenda, and this is my Let's Play of Wargame Red Dragon, the Busan Pocket Campaign. We started in the last episode, made a bit of a mess of our first battle, but didn't lose, and we're starting our first turn now. Which is okay. Let's see then. So this is our turn to initiate battles. That was their turn to initiate battles. Okay. I'm sending these fighters and these north, because we still need them to take out those tanks. Do these guys down here have no AA? Yeah. I'm gonna send these down here where there's no AA. And I'm gonna call in these things. Actually, first things first. Do I need these that bad? The air units are not a critical problem right now. They could become one. I'm gonna call in these because I know for a fact they're very good. And I'm gonna send them. Heck, no AA down here. I'm gonna send them down here, honestly. I should call in anti-air for here, but the more I save for the South Koreans, the more I have when the Americans show up, so yeah. Alright, so three battles. Start in the south. Oichang. They have 21st Tank Battalion, 12th Artillery Company, 53rd Infantry Battalion. They only have 2 command vehicles total, which is an obvious weakness. If they lose both of those, they will just be unable to attack us in any meaningful way. They have a good number of infantry, including some of these VTT 323s that have anti-tank missiles. These are technically anti-tank units too, they're not very good at it though. They have 8 of these big 170mm howitzers, which have apparently comically oversized guns compared to their chassis. And technically, they have 60 tanks for recon purposes. To be fair, it's 1987, these Type 55s and or T-55s and Type 63s are basically recon vehicles, but they are still technically tanks. Especially the T-55s, which have 100mm guns and some measure of front armor. So they've got infantry, and they've got tanks. They have light tanks. They have infantry, and they have light tanks, and they have some very expensive artillery. 42-kilometer range, but very expensive. What they don't have is any AA at all, basically. They do have 4 total infantry units with Strela 2s. And their ground vehicles have Strelas as well, or Iglas, but yeah, okay, those exist, but I'm not going to worry too hard about them. We have some tanks of our own. These are better. Yeah, they have a lot more range and AP power, so at range these beat the North Koreans. They don't actually have better armor, really, so I mean, these aren't even better at all. We have some of these. Those are kind of just along for the ride. We have some tow vehicles. These will tear those tanks apart pretty badly. Oh, I forgot we brought the attack helicopters, too. Yeah, so the job here is pretty much to use the strike squadrons and the Special Aviation Regiment to just rip them up. They do still have higher morale than us, but okay, I'm going to keep. We don't have all that many command units either. I guess we have enough. It's kind of scattered. Yeah, I'm gonna keep 1 command unit back here to hold on to this, just to be safe, so we have a fallback point. I'm gonna deploy our command tank over here so that we can hold on to that sector. Because this is and they're gonna spawn here. This is like we'll be almost in range of them immediately. Screw the sabers. I'm going to take some of these. Take a couple each of these and these. We just have to keep them at range. They can be brought down by massed gunfire, even. We're gonna take some of these tow missile launchers. They're only jeeps, though, so they can't exactly get close. Hold on, let me... We don't have FOBs, so... we have to rely on trucks if we need to resupply. Or actually, we have helicopters, yeah. We don't have a hilarious number of infantry either, but what we do have is going to be deployed pretty much right on these roads. For defensive purposes. And then that leaves us enough resources to bring in some tanks of our own. Not a lot, but, you know. Oh, recon. Oh, all our recon is very expensive. We're gonna use the helos as recon. Well, their optics are terrible, though. That's a problem. These have to be deployed to be good recon, too. Oh well. Figure it out. Alright, everybody unload. You guys get into the air. You guys park yourselves over here so you can actually see. And here they come. They're gonna come straight down the road. And apparently they're in tow range already. We're just gonna count on them to not have really major AA and start bombing. Not bad this level. I think this one's going to work out a little better. Although I am out of tow missiles. Let me get... This is expensive. Okay, artillery are there. This is the problem with attacking those that don't have missiles, is they kind of get shot up sometimes. And all of you land and resupply as quick as you can. Tanks, stop that. Stop. Anybody crossing the river right in front is still coming into our infantry kill zone, so that's okay. I do need the tanks to stop this, which I think will kill. They're terrible tanks, but they still have more firepower than APCs, so... Right about there, looks like the right place. Let's go ahead and drop some bombs, gents. Oh god, why is this so hard for you? They spawned too close to the bomb drop location, apparently, but I'm sure they'll figure it out, surely. I did not get all of them. They definitely blew up a basic on short 3. Very, very expensive. And the game noise is still pretty loud when combat happens, huh? Somebody give me advice on that when it's uploaded. I might need to turn those down.
명령이라도 박살내 버리자고. 안전띠 꽉 붙들어매. 안전띠 꽉 붙들어매. 듣고 있는 중입니다.
Okay, we're in a very good position here.
하늘은 우리 것이다.
Clearly. Alright, guys. I don't know if we necessarily have the capacity to just push across and finish them, but because they're probably spawning a lot of tanks in there, but I don't think they're gonna break through against us either. Let's put it that way. Maybe I can get one of these. Maybe I could get some recon.
체크리스트 오케이. 준비 완료.
Problem is these guys have to be unloaded to be any good as recon, which kind of... It's not a good place exactly where I can sneak them in. But in here maybe, but...
가능한 빨리 가겠습니다.
I'm fairly sure they'll notice the problem. You reckon they have any artillery pieces left? I thought they did. Oh, I see the corpses. Oh yeah, there's 2 right there. Someone please blow
천사가
those
필요한
up.
사람.
Oh, jeez. Is that a cutter there?
체크리스트 오케이. 준비 완료.
So part of the reason we haven't seen the tanks is because they've brought in every one of those really expensive artillery pieces. And here are the burning corpses of what, 6 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actually. I think there's 1 left.
이동합니다.
Yeah, we're gonna try to flank all the way around here. Oh shit!
우리가 필요한 곳이 어디입니까?
They actually called their aid.
누구로 옮겨줄까?
That's all they have is like some infantry with AA, but they actually called it in. That's a problem. Okay, we've won. That's gonna be a total victory, I think, yeah. We lost, well, technically we lost some infantry because I think their vehicles got blown up, which, if their vehicles blow up, they just die. We also lost a helicopter. We did not lose a saber. We wiped out almost all of their infantry, although not the AA ones, 7 out of their 8 howitzers, and all of their recon, which does leave them 60 tanks still. 60 almost totally unsupported tanks. Also, we actually gain morale, and they lose morale because of this, so we have better morale than them now, and they have to retreat when they suffer a total loss, so they don't get wiped out. But okay, next let me save actually. So these guys, let me take stock right there. Almost out of infantry. They do have a few left, but they're pretty much out of infantry. They have a lot of AA, relatively speaking, left, which is why I haven't brought any planes to tempt myself with this time. And they do have these planes, but they're only napalm bombers, which have no real effect on tanks except to panic them. Understandably, but... So they have a few mortars, they have bits of AA. I mean, honestly, we've kind of got to just hit them with our tanks. Our tanks are really expensive, and I would hate to lose any more, but they have very limited capability to actually kill any of them at this point. I don't know if I can afford really to try to hold... maybe we'll try to hold both sectors, because points, but... Alright. What else do I have? Napalm? No. Some of our own infantry. I should probably have something guarding this area, huh? Never mind, we'll just make that the first priority. K1s, get down in there.
누구를 옮겨줄까?
Infantry, if you want to just group up, like...
명령 받겠습니다. 누구를 옮겨줄까?
Oh, found them.
명령 받겠습니다.
Nailed one. I was not sure we had our missiles out yet, but we got one of those
나는 빨리
F5s.
가겠습니다.
Yeah, if you could just run out of the... you both died, didn't you? Well, they died, but with their last act, they killed F5, so that's
저희 없이는 아무것도 볼 수 없으실 겁니다.
about as much as you can actually expect from an infantry AA team. You
위병
guys
수업 3보
just
이상 승차라고
go
들어봤어?
park back here somewhere.
여기 있습니다. 적이 사거리에 들어온다면 우리도 마찬가지란 말이지. 진지 변환합니다. 시동 걸어. 뭐라도 보이나? 이동 준비 완료.
We did succeed, though. We're clearly about to take Bravo sector.
지시를 기다리는 중입니다.
He didn't even know what he wanted to hit. Get a tank in over here before we lose the sector. Although I have...
상황 통제 중입니다.
no, this isn't a tank, actually. Oh, hello, buddy. Stingers, you wanna... Nope, you don't wanna fire.
위병 수업 3보 이상 승차라고 들어봤어?
Good miss there, lads.
갈 것 필요해?
Where's their command vehicle? Oh, I think he was hiding there.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
KMs, you retreat. You guys maybe jump across buildings a little?
이런 쌍!
That is the command vehicle. Would someone like to kill it?
전쟁이 안 날 거라고 하더니
Please go around the fire.
이게 다 꿈이었으면 좋겠다. 눈을 뜨면 우리 집 안방이고
We're just...
형하고 아침을 먹을 거야.
Okay, somebody did kill the command vehicle.
아니! 말년의 행군이라니!
Gonna go into the
쇠대
fire.
적격까지 아파오는군. 진지 변환합니다. 시동 걸어.
They love the fire. Somebody go
이끌던지 따르던지 아니면 내 길에서 비켜.
confiscate those.
해당 위치로 전진 중.
Yeah, you guys load up, actually.
적이 사거리에 들어온다면 우리도 마찬가지란 말이지.
There we go.
어디로
Supplies.
배달해 드릴까요?
Best kind of supplies. Supplies taken from the enemy.
거기 안전한 군 맞습니까? 지휘관님, 보병이 대체 뭘 할 수 있겠습니까? 해당 위치로 전진 중.
Yeah, see, as long as I keep the tanks moving, the napalm is just
이동 준비 완료.
really effective against them. That was an anti-tank unit that desperately should have been in cover and just wasn't.
이끌던지 따르던지 아니면 내 길에서 비켜. 기동 중입니다. 위병 수업 3부 이상 정찰하고 들어봤어?
Dead is what it is.
이동합니다.
You guys might want to dodge. Almost pulled it off.
저 말입니까?
Oh, there's all their anti-air. Just kinda... Okay. Yeah, that was straightforward. We lost, I think, one infantry unit or something. I think is what that's gonna come down to. Oh right, we lost the 2 stingers that melted in the napalm, but they killed an F5 in the process. They are also down to just 4 basic anti-air vehicles and 4 infantry units. Yeah, almost everything they have left is supply trucks and command vehicles. Obviously they have reinforcements on the way, but that gets us on track a little more in that sector. Yeah. I mean, these guys are not really... It'll take them a while to get enough reinforcements to be a problem there. Okay, and then Yongdyok. This probably is the hard sector. As you can see, they actually have a higher total value of forces than us here. They have 56 tanks, including the Chomoho 2s, which have 115, well, I guess they all have 115mm guns, but these have better armor and longer range, better accuracy and AP, penetration. They have recon. I mean, that's about it. They have 56 tanks, they have a bit of recon, trucks, and then they have the 6 Su-25Ks. That is what I brought the F-16s to handle, because those are nasty. These tanks will be very hard pressed to kill our K-1s from the front, at least. And the fact they're basically incapable of damaging our K-1s from the front, except through, like, just repeated hits. But these can punch right through very easily. The M48s will just die to anything, but I mean, they're only equivalent to the North Korean tanks. But that's what we brought these for. These will, I think the F-16s are our critical edge here. Tanks, they have more of, although we have the highest quality ones. My F-4Es are pretty much matched by or inferior to their S-20 U-25s, but the F-16s should give us an advantage in the aerial battle. Okay, now there's no real good cover in this sector. Not on like a nice line anyway. We are outnumbered, especially if I'm going to call in, which I am, 2 of these and 2 of these at least. And now, we already have a problem. I don't really care about the difference between having a 25mm gun or not, so let's go for the cheaper recon units. Send one over there, let's send one straight forward. We have no infantry, neither do they, but I don't want to make them in like a completely open field battle. I could up here, but that seems a little too risky. Oh, that's too expensive, okay. Honestly, there's a little bit of cover right here. I'm gonna try and hold like this river line, basically. Okay, you get out there and spy up here.
정찰이 필요합니까?
Hang out. Here for now, but you might have to.
저 말입니까?
You guys just do me a favor and make sure
말씀만 하십시오.
that you are in cover on the riverbank. Okay.
지시사항 있습니까?
As far as reinforcements go,
저희 없이는 아무것도 볼 수 없으실 겁니다.
I don't know about the positioning of this recon car. Because anything coming down this road, it's gonna see and then die to. But if I put it any like if there was a stand of trees like right here, that'd be great. But there's not. I could try to sneak up to here, but I think it's a little late for that.
잠입주.
Maybe sneak back to like this little stand.
쌍안경 챙겨.
Okay, those are in like.
내가 쏴버려.
So about to kill my recon car. Whoops. Didn't really consider that one. New recon vehicle, please. Embarrassing.
대기 중입니다. 체크리스트 오케이. 준비 완료.
They have no AA, so I mean neither do I. Well, yes I do. I have my F-16s. But there's nothing really that's going to hurt the Peace Pheasants in any way. They should have totally free reign. Because of course they've secured it. That command card just pulled right up to it because I didn't pay attention to the mortal danger I was in.
뭐라도 보이나? 잠입주.
What's this? There's a tank.
체크리스트 오케이.
There's a bunch of tanks.
하늘은 우리 것이다.
So many tanks. Okay.
뭐라도 보이나?
You might want to get out of there.
저쪽이 시야가 넓겠는데.
Okay, you didn't get out of there. Well, my survivability record for the recon is not great so far.
저희 없이는 아무것도 볼 수 없으실 겁니다.
Surely this guy will do better. We did just take out, like, I don't know, 6+ tanks? 8 even? Hard to say. They only have 56, so it's a pretty good start. I know they're all in there, but I don't have any AoE bombs. These F4s need a art.
해당 지역을 수색합니다.
Is that... Who's being shot? Oh, that's us shooting that. That's fine.
그럼 저길 5피로 잡죠.
I've also only seen the basic Chonmohos so far, not the twos, but I'm sure the twos.
쌍안경 챙겨!
Somebody take care of them before they kill my other.
저쪽이 시야가 넓겠는데.
Okay, now there are only two.
해당 지역을 수색합니다.
Do something stupid and see if we can sneak up there. Okay, tanks are dying like crazy just coming out of this forest and getting shot by my K1s. That's good. Get that you up to 4. 4 is the arbitrary maximum. Well, I think 4 is a common tank platoon size. It's the arbitrary maximum tank platoon size. Or anything platoon size, actually. Yeah, they're getting close. Okay.
천사가 필요한 사람.
Oh. No. That got messy.
탑승을 환영합니다.
What did I lose? I think I lost one M48. That's okay.
정말입니까?
They screwed up if that's what they really went for. Because the K2s,
오케이.
the K1s are much more expensive. Yeah.
저희 역시는 아무것도 볼 수 없으실 겁니다. 닥친 대로 쏴버려.
I think the SU-25 got one M48, and we did shoot it down with the F-16s, so we're doing okay.
수호 천사가 필요한 사람.
More than okay in there. Do I have any, like... I have basically no repair capacity. Let's bring up what we've got, I guess. Your tank's right there. Oh, okay. Oh, motherfucker. Well, that's awkward. I did not think they could see that, but they just blew up our command vehicle. I should probably just reload that, but I'm not going to. Fair's fair. We lost one tank, two recon jeeps, and one command tank. We killed 31 Chonmohos, plus 2 recon vehicles, plus a very expensive Su-25K. But we're going to lose the sector because they blew up my command car. Alright, well, that's all I got for the turn. Let's see what they do. Our forces are... Yes, I know. Busan is directly threatened, yes. Yeah, they're gonna push in Daegu again. They have brought back, well, frankly, they have the same things they had, plus the 2nd Engineers Battalion, which amounts to... It appears a bunch of guys with napalm. They have... Well, let's see here. They have a bunch of cargo trucks, command vehicles. They have rocket artillery now. Okay, they have these. TO-55s. These are flamethrower tanks, but they have a 100mm gun still. They got a lot of napalm. The thing is, napalm just doesn't work that well against tanks. And I have tanks. Real tanks, not these pieces of junk. They're very, very limited on infantry. These are not going to do well against my infantry. Well, at close quarters, yes, if they use the napalm. But otherwise, no. So let's just fight this the way we did the last one, basically. We're just gonna see here. I will keep the FOB and put it up there. I will hold all of these. I'm not going to bother with holding to Bravo, but we will deploy some forces in it. Let's get some infantry here to hold this. So that was not a mistake I want to repeat. Let's get some infantry over here to hold this, just in case, although the napalm is a problem for any of them. Let's get a recon unit here. And let's just get a nice big formation of K1s with support from, we have our own napalm guys actually, but our infantry.
지시사항 있습니까? 명령대로 하겠습니다.
I'll say this town is not the place to fight their engineers.
말씀만 하십시오.
With or without our tanks, it is not the place to fight their engineers.
지시를 기다리는 중입니다. 드디어 제법 강한
I
놈들입니까?
assume that's their tier
아직도
100s.
위병 수업 3보 이상 승차라고 들어봤어?
Or 55s, that is. Yes, it is.
결국 최후의 깃발을 꼽는 건 보병이라고.
I do wish I had a hard counter to the, just any kind of AA. I mean,
이동 준비 완료.
there's the AA company that I can call in, but it feels like a big waste.
드디어 제법 강한 놈들입니까? 또 벌어지듯.
Big waste for a couple of ancient MiG-17s.
발각됐습니다.
Wrong place.
드디어 제법 강한
Fire
놈들입니까?
that rocket
아니
artillery.
또 벌어지듯.
Pretty much just missing. Doing here. Right, let's kill that.
공격받고 있습니다.
Nice.
드디어 제법 강한 놈들입니까? 아니 또 벌어지듯. 발각됐습니다. 예. 가능한 빨리 가겠습니다.
They can see my recon and they hate it.
기동 중입니다.
But,
발각됐습니다. 발각됐습니다.
these guys should be able to hold their own, honestly.
발각됐습니다.
Set up
기동
tanks
중입니다.
up here, support them.
발각됐습니다. 대장 위치로 전진 중. 결국 최후의 깃발을 꼽는 건 보병이라고.
That's on me a bit. I gave them confusing orders there. Oh, hell. Lost one? What? I just burned up. That is actually impossible, but... Oh well, we still won pretty decisively. We lost one K1 and we'll have lost 3 infantry units because they die when they lose their vehicles, but, yeah, the K1's pretty much cleaned up. 52nd Infantry Regiment and 27th Fire Support Company no longer exist. They lost 13 out of their 16 TO-55s. They lost the last of their AA. They're pretty much down to just a few cheap napalm infantry. I think that sector's secure. Excellent. Thank you, General Galvin. Capture the port of Seoul, secure Churawan and Sokcho. And don't lose Busan. The Nimitz brings several squadrons as backup, and many support battalions can be deployed once the port of Seoul is captured. Yes. Okay. Oh, so it's my turn, okay. Well, we're gonna need to regroup and retake this before things go any more wrong there. And I still want these. They're gonna have... Oh, look at that, MiG-29s. AA. Well, this is... I don't know where all these planes will go. They might scatter, but... They got an aviation regiment here. Oh god, because we don't have enough AA problems already. I assume these are going to attack here. I don't have a good solution for that other than to maybe call in the anti-air company, but now it seems like a bad time to do that because the US Task Force and USS Nimitz Air Group has just arrived. Still have a lot of vehicles down here. I'm going to send these back there. I'm going to send these here in hopes that they can do something. Those will counter our F-16s pretty well. Right, so what we have that's arrived up here is USS Nimitz, which is just sort of a generic container for Oliver Hazard Perrys, which have ground targetable harpoon missiles plus SM-1 Block 5 surface-to-air missiles. Get all that moved in. Also with Nimitz is the 154th Fighter Squadron with 8 F-4J Phantom 2s. Is Nimitz still running Phantom 2s in 1987? I don't think so. Maybe. But I don't think so. I'm almost certain not, as a matter of fact, but I think they don't want to give us the most elite US equipment because they're overpowered enough already. And 135th Seed Squadron with 4 EA-6B Prowlers with anti-radar missiles. And then accompanying them in transports we have 24th Armored Battalion with 8 M60 A1 tanks, some LAV-25s, and the Scout version. Oh, another 12 M60 ERAs that come with landing craft. The first 8 don't come with landing craft. Oh, and 12th Marine Regiment. They've got TACOM with amphibious. These are amphibious, right? Yes. Amphibious AFVs. Or APCs. Cargo trucks. They've got some infantry with smalls. They've got some infantry with, well, AT-4s, which are barely worse, honestly. And M16s and Minimes. We've got some Avengers, which are mostly good for anti-helo work, but they're okay against planes in a pinch. We've got Seals with twin Hueys, and a few of them very expensive. Oh, and out at sea we've got another 4 Oliver Hazard Perrys, plus we have some Riverine capability with 2 STR-B90Hs with SALH Hellfire missiles, and plus grenade launchers. And we have some monitors with 105mm howitzers. Oh, and we have the 773rd Light Attack Squadron with Cobras, Sea Cobras, and Super Cobras. So we need to land immediately. No screwing around here. We need to take Seoul, like, this turn, I think. Let me see. Put the planes in there. Halos. Well, and that's pretty much the lot. In terms of reinforcements, besides that, the U.S. has 13th Marine Regiment, which is basically a copy of the 12th. More U.S. Marines. Also has, not a complete copy, actually, probably a bit heavier. Has U.S. Marines, has some I-Hawks, which are nice, some mortars, some M60s, more Oliver Hazard Perrys, and more of these riverine craft. 25th Armored Battalion. They have literally just 24 M60A1s, which are pretty outdated, let's be honest. They're not actually better than the North or South Korean tanks. 72nd Armored Battalion, which has 12 M1 Abrams, 120mm guns, basically invincible front armor. Of course, the K1s are basically equivalent. I've already lost like 5 of those, but yeah. 3rd Artillery Company, which has 1255mm howitzers and 481mm mortars, which are a much cheaper option. It's got some FOBs though. And 25th Sea Attack Squadron, which comes with 8 Seahawks with SALH armor-piercing missiles. Air Force-wise, we also have the 147th Multi-Rule Squadron with 6 FA-18C Hornets. That's a little more like it. Maverick missiles plus Sparrows. No, Sidewinders, right? Yeah, Mavericks and Sidewinders. I mean, these are okay for air-to-air, they're better for air-to-ground. And the 160th Strike Squadron, which has 6 A-70 Corsairs with napalm bombs. Better than nothing. Alright. What do I need to call in right now? Let's not waste any time on this. Let's call in 13th Marines. Get them in there. Straight away. And, you know what? I've already fucked all of this up enough. Let's call in 2nd Anti-Air Company. Put it there. Now we can stop this dead without having to worry about it. Because these attack helos can really mess us up otherwise, potentially. Alright. Not gonna say this is going perfectly, but it's going acceptably, I think. So... do we want to fight another battle right now? I think we'll call it there for now. So, we'll see the U.S. entry into the war in the next episode. In the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoy this new series. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off. Thanks for watching, sailors. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or subscribing. New parts will be up every other day for the most part. Or you can watch live on Twitch once a week. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off.